Hey guys, Coach Frisk here coming at you from the couch instead of the dining room table. The dining room table's a little occupied. Today's a big day in the household. It's my wife's birthday. Plans were slightly altered from what we were initially planning on doing for her big day. It's what happens. You got to adapt, improvise, overcome, if you will. So we're still going to have a great day. She's out for her annual kind of birthday bike ride. Me and Derby are just here chilling on the couch waiting for her to get back so we can start the festivities. Isn't that right, Derby? Derby, you're not in the frame, Derby. Derby. Oh, you're sleeping? Oh, okay. Well. Anyway, we're hanging out on the couch. Got a couple more emails from you people that we want to reply to. Love the videos that I've also received. Looks like some of you guys are staying super active, which is just fantastic. Hopefully this isn't too big of a reset for you guys. And once we kind of get back to normal, things will get back to truly normal rather quickly, rather than it being kind of a long dragged out reacclimation process or something along those lines. So the first question I got was, what's your favorite movie? What's your favorite TV show? Hard for me to say that. Everybody, it's so hard to pick a favorite. Even what I used to like maybe when I was younger doesn't hold up as much now that I'm a little bit older. But two movies that will always get my attention are Godfather 1 and 2. I think they're just fantastic. You can lose yourself for a couple hours there. If you watch them back to back, that's a full day. So love that. I'll watch that whenever it's on like AMC or something along those lines. So The Godfather, part 1 and part 2. Part 3, we'll just pretend it never happened. But the first two are masterpieces. TV shows, a little different. I'm not a huge TV person. Never really have been a huge TV person in terms of just like, oh, that's my show. I know in college, like people would have watch parties for like The Office, but never got into it like that. A couple shows though that I did thoroughly enjoy. Game of Thrones was pretty good for a handful of seasons. The Sopranos is really good. All these are on HBO. If you haven't seen, also on HBO, the McMillions documentary, I thought that was fascinating. Just like such a crazy story. I remember growing up loving the Monopoly game at McDonald's, and to see that there was never a legitimate winner to that contest just blows my mind. And I'm sure blew a hole through my mom's pocketbook with all the Big Macs and Quarter Pounders and French fries that I would constantly bother her for when I was younger because I wanted the Monopoly pieces. Another thing though that I've gotten into is I just got Disney Plus for this past week. Wanted to try it out. Got the package with the ESPN and the Hulu. That way I can really occupy my time when I'm not learning. And something that I've really enjoyed the first couple episodes of so far is the Imagineering story. I think it's a really interesting insight into the development of kind of the Disney company overall. And the first couple episodes really dives into Walt. And I think it was really interesting hearing outside people's perspectives on Walt and kind of how he developed this mega super, business that's basically controls everything now. And I think the most interesting thing about it is that, you see him, you go to Disney World, Disneyland, you see him with the statue with Mickey, and you're like, oh, what a kind, generous, loving soul, which he was. But dude was hard. Dude was relentless with his vision, and day in and day out, challenging people to be the best that they can be, and finding and having this great grand vision that he was able to rope all these people into and get all these people to believe in. And it was also just as interesting as that when he passed, seeing how people in higher positions that were super talented people on their own, how hard of a time they had adjusting once their visionary was no longer there. And it just shows you that even the most talented people, they need great leadership to allow them to get to the places they want to get to. So that was just in the first couple episodes. Next couple episodes, it really starts to develop the business and parks and acquiring stuff. But I thought that's been super interesting so far. I'm a little bit of a Disney dork and much more on the behind the scenes than the actual content that they produce. I think it's just fascinating how that company's been built and the people that have been behind it. So if you haven't watched that, and I know a lot of you have Disney Plus, the Imagineering story is fascinating. Another show that I've been watching that's pretty good is the Great British Bake Off on Netflix. Love the kind of almost lighthearted competition aspect to it. They seem to all be really enjoying just baking and being under the tent and out in the countryside of England, and it seems very pleasant, but it's a competition nonetheless, and you can always sign me up for a good competition. I can't really bake at all, so I can't even appreciate what they're doing. I mentioned earlier that it's my wife's birthday today. I will not be baking the cake. I think it's in everybody's best interest that wants to eat the cake and enjoy the cake. My wife, me, maybe my dog, depending on the ingredients. It's in everyone's best interest if I stay as far away from the cake as possible. So I'll make dinner, but I'm definitely going to stay away from the cake. Anyway, love that show. Really enjoyable. Love the host. Love the contestants. I think I've watched 2-3 seasons so far, and it's been fantastic. Love Paul Hollywood. What a great name. Transitioning to what I'd like you to kind of read about and go down the rabbit hole of today is John Wooden, another extraordinary leader, but with a little lightheartedness and whimsy. So kind of almost bring my two favorite shows together here. Great leader, was the head coach at UCLA for the men's basketball team from 48 to 75. And I believe won 7 national championships in a row in 10 and 12 years, which is absurd. It's one of the greatest runs of all time for team sports. I know UConn's women's team made a close run, but nothing even close to 7 straight national championships. So linked a video of him speaking on success below, and I've also linked his pyramid of success, which I think is something you can print out and kind of just put somewhere around, but it's got just great pillars to how you can truly be successful and know you've been successful. Things like enthusiasm and intent, self-control, poise, all things that we kind of preach day in and day out, that if you can do that and control kind of things that you can control rather than worrying about things that you can't control, you're going to be as successful as you can be in that moment. I think that's really important, and he's the best at explaining it and kind of teaching it. So that's what I got for you. Hope you guys are staying safe, stay positive. Coach Frisk, talk to you soon. Be well.